a helicopter circling the house right now, so I apologize if it's a little distracting in the background. But it's getting late, so I can't wait. Gotta do it now. Got some really good stories to share this week. I'm excited. First one I thought was important because I have been celebrating a lot lately. And I am officially going to start changing my beer of choice because of this information I just acquired. There is this YouTube channel I watch called The Lip, and this is where I got this story from. Beer does not have to list its ingredients because it is not considered a food. It's voluntary in our country for the beer to be labeled. Of course, America. Some of the ingredients that are used in typical beers like Corona, Bud Light, Miller Lite, MSG, super bad for you. Insect-based dyes, that is basically beetle shit. Isinglass, which I don't know what that is, but it's made of fish bladder, which is disgusting. I do not want to be eating fish bladder. I mean, gosh. Anyways, it also has GMO corn in it. So that's great news. Beer's already making you, I don't want to say fat, but beer's not helping your gut at all. And then you've got shit like beetle poo and fish bladder going in there, so it's like gross as well. Anyways, you can find beer that will tell you its ingredients at your local microbrewery, local brewery. So find that and stick with that beer, or you can also use a German beer because Germany has extremely high standards for their beer and they don't use shit like we use. So Heineken's good to go. No fish bladder, insect shit. To dye it? Because we have to dye it. Like, who cares what color it is? Really? Anyways, moving on. Beer. Gotta find the right shit because otherwise that's not cool. The Academy of Science in Austria has announced that they have grown miniature human brains. Researchers have used human stem cells to create a culture which grew what they call cerebral organoids. How freaking cool is that? Mini brains in a laboratory that was grown from like a clump of cells. Something else that's really cool is that these cultures organize themselves into distinct brain regions on their own, and the scientists didn't even know they were going to do that. They were like surprised, like, wow, look, it's like a real brain it's growing into. This is really cool because it's going to allow researchers to study the human brain much more in depth, and diseases. Also, the use of medication is going to be able to be studied on basically synthetic brains. I mean, people aren't actually going to have to be tested to see if it, how a drug responds to a human brain. It's just going to be a brain grown from stem cells. And something to add, just because a lot of people are super skeptical about stem cell use, this particular instance, they used skin cells to extract the stem cells from. So it wasn't taken from a fetus, which is something a lot of people aren't cool with about stem cells used in science, but mini brains. How freaking cool. Okay. This story hit close to home for me because a year ago I was in a situation I'd never been in before where I didn't know what I was going to do for money. I was working 3 jobs at one point, and I was on food stamps. it was so tough. It was crazy how hard it was. A series of experiments from researchers at Harvard, Princeton, and the University of Warwick have found that the condition of poverty imposes a mental burden equivalent to losing an entire night's sleep or having your IQ artificially drop 13 points. So that's a lot. That's a huge impact on somebody psychologically, to live like that on a daily basis, like you didn't sleep at all that night. I mean, one of the researchers has been quoted saying, past studies blame poverty of personal failure of the poor, that they don't work hard enough, that they aren't focused enough. And what we are arguing is that it's not about the individual, it's about the situation. So, it's just really easy to say, oh, those people are bums, they don't care, but walk a mile in somebody's shoes, it's just science proving that it's not just the individual's fault for not being motivated, it's actually something that is physically and psychologically affecting you to carry that burden. Okay, speaking of physical burdens, 19 states have started conducting annual weigh-ins of their students and testing their body mass index. Then they are sending a letter home with the kids telling the parents if the child is overweight or obese. That's kind of controversial. However, the statistic currently is 1 in 3 children and adolescents are considered either overweight or obese. So I think that it's a good thing. Obviously, the parents don't care enough on their own. They need somebody to tell them your kid needs some special attention in this area because there's a problem that's developing. So give a fucking shit. Anyways, speaking of giving a shit, this is pretty funny. There is a man named Jeff Wagner who has put out a promotional mayoral ad for himself because he wants to be the mayor of Minneapolis, and it has sparked quite a bit of interest on the internet because it's kind of funny. So here's the clip of Jeff Wagner for mayor of Minneapolis.
Over $1 million is going to be spent to become the mayor of Minneapolis, a $100,000 a year job. You're not the ones that are deciding who you vote for. The media and the money is. I am cool with making $100,000 a year. I will not take money from the developers. I will not take money from the political angle. I will not even go to the strip clubs anymore. Wake the f*** up.
And ending with my quote from Julia Cameron. She says, "Creativity occurs in the moment, and in the moment we are timeless." So, thank you for watching. I hope you think twice about what beer you order next time. And I hope you enjoy your week.
And I don't understand